Montreal's next effort to reduce the flow of cars, superblocks. The Plante administration testing an urban innovation in the neighborhood east of the Jacques-Cartier Bridge that turns residential areas into giant cul-de-sacs. This in an effort to discourage motorists from finding shortcuts. So let's head over now to Alia Hassan Cournol, Montreal City Councillor for Mercier-Hochelaga-Maisonneuve and Associate Councillor on Economic Development Matters. Alia, welcome back to the program.
Hi, Elias. Thank you for having me.
Listen, I know this method is used in Barcelona and quite successfully, according to the folks in Barcelona, but why don't you describe to our listeners just what we're talking about here when we refer to superblocks?
So pretty much we're going to be using concrete blocks on 4 streets in Sainte-Marie, so pretty much between the Médéric-Martin Park up to Saint-Anselme School on de Rouen. So it's a very, very small sector, and we're going to be putting blocks that are creating kind of a cul-de-sac. So, for example, if you're coming south, you're going to have to do a detour to go back from the south. If you're going north, you're going to have to do a detour to go back from the north. So pretty much this is the idea here is to make sure that the people that are coming south or north and really going way too fast because they want to avoid traffic from Papineau, from Jacques-Cartier Bridge, because of the Pont-Tunnel Hippolyte Lafontaine. They're using those residential streets next to schools and parks and where kids and elders are using the streets. And it goes just way, way, way too fast because Waze or Google are telling people to use those streets.
Okay.
So we need to develop new ideas to make sure that kids and elder and pretty much anybody can use the street safer.
So yeah, I'm thinking about that, and you know, de Rouen is in between. I think what are the streets? Ontario and Hochelaga. Am I right about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Ontario and Hochelaga.
So I guess you're trying to get people on those main arteries and not use this street, but it's
exactly exactly the point. That's a very easy idea, and I know. When we do that, people are always scared about traffic and the length of the road they're going to use. But really, remember we've experienced the death of Maria in Sainte-Marie. Yeah. And all the parents, the elders, the schools, everybody in that area has been asking our administration to try new ideas and to do more. So it's really not only an idea held by Projet Montreal and implementing in the streets, we have the support and the willingness of the people living in that area to try this new solution.
But why don't you, there's the 30, it's 30 kilometers an hour. We've got speed bumps left, right, and center. We've got the traffic calming measures at intersections. Yeah. It seems like, we're throwing everything but the kitchen sink, and now we're just trying something else. So, I could understand how a driver would feel like, oh, God, you're going after me again. I'm just trying to get to work.
Yeah, for sure. But still, because there is a lot of traffic in between the east side to go downtown, and you know the reason why, the Pont-Tunnel, the Jacques-Cartier Bridge, Papineau, it's jam-packed every morning. So the real problem is that Waze and Google and so on, the GPS applications, are telling people, go and use the residential street. Mm-hmm. And because people are annoyed by the traffic, they tend to go faster. And I'm not putting all the charge and the guilt on the drivers, but that's the reality we're facing. Yeah. And the people living in that specific area, they're mostly using they're mostly going to school walking, biking, mostly walking actually, and they've been telling us for 3-4 years now, you need to find another idea. And we used all the toolbox that we have, like you said, the speed bumps, reducing to 30 kilometers an hour, but it's not enough.
So obviously it's an election year, and you feel a move like this is going to win you votes, right? That's what you're saying here. That the people who live in these communities, they absolutely want this.
They want it and need it. I mean, we've had a drama in that area, Elias. We're not doing that for votes. We're doing that because having your kids going to school safely is the right thing to do. That's it.
All right, and listen, I'll give you this. I think it's a different question. Like, what does a motorist who just wants to drive through think versus the people that live on these streets and have children, right? So point taken, by the way, because I've seen multiple examples where certain groups don't like it because they've got to drive through, but the actual people that live on the streets are very happy about it. Okay,
exactly. But still, it's a pilot project, and we're going to be monitoring. We're going to be having discussions with the people using the pilot project, like the schools and so on. So we're testing it. We're going to be monitoring, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, let me move on to Bill 104. The Legault government is moving forward with Bill 104, which would reduce Montreal's voting power in the Montreal Metropolitan Community Council, and it would give a little bit more influence to suburban municipalities, right? So your seats would go from 14 to 12 out of 26, reduce the executive committee spots. I'm looking at the number of voters and that breakdown, and it certainly seems like you want to sort of give power to votes. And this is following down that path. Why is this a bad idea if, the suburban municipalities are growing when it comes to voters and the island of Montreal is not?
Well, we don't understand the decision that the local government has taken without any notice to the city of Montreal presiding the CMM. So, first of all, the way of doing it, I don't get it. We've been working in partnership with the local government for years now, and taking that decision is kind of nonsense. Secondly, Montreal has never used the deciding vote on the CMM Council. Never. So we've been working very well with the suburban areas. We've been working quite well also with the suburbs on the agglomeration council, not only the CMM. So again, why that decision-making now? That we don't understand. And really, Elias, is that the matter that the government should highlight right now when we need money in hospitals, in schools, for homelessness? I mean, tackling the city of Montreal, the metropolises, with all the difficulties and the needs and the things that are stakes in the metropolises, taking that decision right now, I mean, it doesn't make sense, really.
I've heard, though, from the other municipalities that have often complained, right, that the city of Montreal has too much power, whether it's how budgets work and services work, and that this is a needed rebalancing to give them a little bit more power. And it's going to force you to work. You don't need that much help, but you are going to need to get some other municipalities on your side. So what do you say to that?
But we do have other municipalities already on our side. We've been working very well with other municipalities. That was never, ever at stake.
So doesn't that mean it doesn't change? It won't change, right?
Well, that will change the power of Montreal to decide on, the metropolises, where we had the most people, where we have the most voters. So it's a decision really that tackles Montreal, not the suburbs, really. And that's the thing we don't understand, and that's the process and how the decision was taken. Not even taking the phone and calling Mayor Plante and saying, "Hey, we're going to be passing that bill very soon."
Yeah. So you've been blindsided. You're saying the city's been blindsided here by this.
Yeah, completely.
We have to leave it there. I want to thank you so much for coming on today. It's always a pleasure catching up with you. Thanks. And come back real soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Elias.
Alia Hassan Cournol is a city councillor in Mercier-Hochelaga-Maisonneuve.